everyone, and welcome to The Next Level, your local home for all things video games. I am your host, Eddie the Fishman Fisher, joined today by Eric the Engineer.
Hello.
He's here. And if you haven't seen him in a while, he's back. It's Jeremy Church.
How's it going?
And you may remember her from the 20 Eggs days.
Way back when.
And Annie, what do you... I feel like we always called you the wrong name. everyone that knew her from the store called her Anne, and then I feel like everyone else in the world called you Annie.
I go by both, but I've been,
since...
Here we go. Yeah, we'll call me Annie A-Dog.
There we go.
A-Dog.
Well, that's great. Yeah,
right.
Not that.
No.
But
please.
On today's show, we're going to talk about Shenmue never coming out, Gamescom, and lots of Dead Cells. But first, Eric, I have a question for you. I have 2 questions for you, 3 questions for you. I have 3 now. I'm making these up on the go. All right, so first of all, you, it was a long time ago when we were talking about E3 stuff. You mentioned sessions as something that you thought was interesting, and I need to hear why, because I don't
Eric.
imagine you like skateboarding.
Seriously.
Wait a second.
Oh, what? What's this game?
I haven't seen any gameplay on it recently. It was something that caught me off guard.
Like conceptually, just like, oh, maybe?
Yeah, conceptually, maybe.
Okay. The other one was, we didn't talk about Battletoads, which I thought was crazy.
That is true, and I'm still curious to see what that's going to look like,
Yeah.
especially since the last time we had it was in the late 90s or mid-90s.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll look anything like Killer Instincts characters, models of them, but we'll see.
I think it'll more be cartoony like the originals.
Okay. Maybe. Like sprite-based.
I wouldn't say sprite-based, but kind of like 2D, 3D. I can't think of the term I'm looking for. 2.5 type.
Yeah. 2.5. 2.5D. That's what they like to call it.
Planet style.
Yeah. The other one was, you feeling really good about this Venom trailer, huh?
No, I thought that we were just going to talk about video games here now.
Well, that's fine. I'm warming up to it, but I don't know. It's not. What's selling you on it?
I'm willing to give it a chance.
Okay.
It's
his boy. He likes that Eddie Brock.
I gave Power Rangers a chance.
And it was good.
Yes.
Was it? I'm thinking about renting that.
It's on Hulu now, if you have that.
Oh, yeah, I do. It is on Hulu?
Yeah, just got on there.
I'm going to watch it when I get home tonight.
Thank
you.
It's better than it deserves to be, but it still needs work because the Zords look terrible, and the Rangers are rarely Rangers. But it's good.
I was just a little bit too old for the Power Rangers. I just turned 39. But my stepbrother
Did
and
you
stepsister, they came over and they always watched it, and I kind of made fun of them, but secretly watched it. I was like, this is kind of cool.
You're always calling them the Mighty
Little
Morphin
bit,
potty
peeking in,
trainers.
I'm like, that's kind of neat, but I never really hated it. But I liked Voltron. That was my thing, which was like, it felt like it ripped off Voltron.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And Voltron ripped off.
Sure.
Well, actually, no. Power Rangers was ripped off by Voltron because Power Rangers existed in Japan before.
Oh,
sure
the
it probably did.
Super
It's
Sentai.
Yeah.
Other things.
Yeah, I was super on the fence about the movie. I might rent it or try it out.
Hulu.
Yeah, it's worth a rent because I think the thing that they do really well is they make those characters like you care about them.
Yeah.
And even like the big controversy of like one being gay, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It was actually like a good moment when they're all on that campfire.
I feel like I'm gonna be that fan though. That's gonna be like, it wasn't
That's
that
not T-Rex.
back in the day.
When we're talking about movies, how's that new Ghostbusters?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, world.
Let's not talk about that.
I was that fan for the Power Rangers movie. I went in expecting to hate it.
Yeah, I was Pink Ranger when I was in 2nd grade, and I rocked it out. And then I went to, I think the boy's name was Brian. He was having a birthday party, and so he was Green Ranger. I was like, I'm Pink Ranger.
Now you're married because that's what happened to them, right? Something like that.
I wish that was my marriage story.
we met as Power Rangers. We morphed into marriage. So how have you been, A-Doc?
I've been good. I'm doing a lot. So,
Yeah?
Well, Brandon hired me for a while,
Yeah.
as you knew, and then I pieced out like 3 months later because I got hired in the hospital. So
Oh, that's good. I didn't know
Yeah.
that's where you went, so it's cool.
yeah. So
That's a good move.
it was, yeah.
I don't even know what you do there,
Definitely.
but I know a hospital's going to pay more than a game store.
I'm
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first smiling face you see while you're bleeding out in the ER lobby. So that's
we'll
me.
take care of you.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
okay. Well, don't worry about the blood shooting out everywhere. We'll,
date of birth, please.
Do you answer it really slow, like, okay, now I need you to take a deep breath because I got to get this on file here. Could you stop bleeding all over the place for me, please?
It depends on the person, I'll be honest, because there's a lot of people that feel super entitled when they walk in there.
Oh, I'm sure.
And like there was one day there was like a migraine that came in and there were children with broken limbs coming in after them and
Yeah, you take care of those.
they
children.
wanted to leave because they felt like they weren't important. And I said,
Ah.
okay, like I'm sorry you feel that way, but I think children with broken limbs are a little bit more important. It's kind of priority based, but okay.
So, in between all of these dying people, did you play anything fun or anything?
Well, Brandon sold me his second VR set.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So I dove into that world.
So,
with,
you've been playing a lot of Beat Saber, right?
oh my gosh, I need to
What,
get
VR
that
for
game.
PC?
That is like
For
PC.
PC.
no
PSVR.
for PS4.
Beat
Yeah.
Saber's on PSVR now?
Mhm.
When did that come out?
Not that long ago, I don't think.
I heard it was coming out. I mean, I am an avid VR user. Every day I'm in the store looking for it, and I never seen Beat
I
Saber
think
yet.
it's digital only. I don't think they're doing any physical stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I meant by in the PSN
Oh,
store.
yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming out. I heard a lot about it. I've been
I
wanting
have
to get
not
it.
downloaded it yet.
Oh,
because
see, I thought you played it.
actually, well, there's
See, I don't think it's out
I
yet.
played a lot of Batman, and I played.
That's good.
Yeah, it was amazing, especially in the beginning when it first brings you down into
Right.
the Bat Cave. Like,
Yes.
I almost got sick to myself because I felt
looked
like,
up and I was just like,
yeah, that's what
I'm
I was
going
doing
into the
too.
floor. I'm like under my house.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like the most amazing immersive experience I could have ever felt as Batman, like as being Bruce Wayne, getting suited up like that. And it
Yeah.
was just, I'm super excited to get more into it. I got a little bit into Resident Evil, and
that's great because it's terrifying.
it was
Like there was
beyond
multiple moments where I
terrifying.
just didn't want to progress.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning when she's on the like down on the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go down there.
I know. That's literally what I was doing. There was one point in time, I don't even remember what the scare was anymore to this day, but something jumped out and scared the absolute life out of me, and I like turned into a little fetus ball and
Yeah.
like didn't want to play the game anymore. I turned it off after that. I was like, I'm done with this game.
See, I was kind of sad because I was very determined to play the entire game in VR.
So was I, yeah.
But when it came out, I got really sick. Like not from VR, but just like actually sick.
Yeah.
So being in VR made it worse.
Oh, I
because it was
imagine
like I just
so.
couldn't maintain it over like a couple minutes.
Yeah. So that was a thing, but I did
Maintain a cool room because it
Oh,
will
yeah.
get you warm.
Yep.
Like, always have a
Oh,
fan
yeah.
on. You get warm with that. It's just.
well, it's really
It's
nice
because
because
not only is it on your face and you're moving, it's something with just the motion inducing causes an internal warmth. and
Oh,
you get
yeah.
a little sweaty and it's kind of weird.
it's nice because my living room has like a partial wall where the stairs are, so I have like a little tower fan there and then the bay
That's-
window,
yeah, you gotta
so
have
it works out really well. But
Have you guys tried doing the motion sickness wrist thing that
Oh,
like
geez,
hits your
that's-
punk?
oh, I
point.
tried that when I was pregnant. It's total BS.
That's
Is it?
it's
Yeah.
nothing.
I've heard like mixed things. So
Yeah,
It's
total
all
BS.
psychosomatic.
All I ended up with was an indent in my wrist, and I was like,
Psychosomatic.
"That's sweet, thanks for that." I spent like $20 on this set
Oh,
of
jeez.
bracelets with beads on them, and didn't even.
The only reason it could do it is because you're thinking, wow, there's something pressing on my wrist. Therefore,
Maybe
I'm
it's
thinking
them.
about
based
that and
off
not
of like
thinking about the
acupuncture
sickness.
type stuff, something like that. But yeah,
did you guys ever going into PlayStation VR? Did you guys download the Rec Room Royale?
I think I downloaded it.
It's so good.
It's been a little while. This is really bad. I was having a real rough time, and I got real mad at my TV, and I threw the remote at it, so my TV doesn't work right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So VR is like all you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
So
at least you got
I'm
the big
like,
screen in there, right?
I know. That's what I told myself. I was like, if I just really want to play VR, I could really just play VR and turn on the headset. It's not like
Yeah.
I need my TV on because it's just like half white and then half pixelized on the other side, and that was probably a real bad night. And I was like, I really need to check myself.
Have either of you had like a moment where it's like there was a moment where I was playing Farpoint and I was like right next to my wall, like looking at the wall, pretty much touching the wall and running into the wall and like not even looking at my TV. I probably looked like an insane person if my wife would have came down. I'm like, what are you doing right now?
I always make sure my curtains are drawn when I play that, because I'm like, somebody's gonna drive by my house and see like this crazy girl like doing all these motions with this headset on.
Job simulator makes it look weird, and I'm always hitting stuff in my room because that one I'm always like pulling hot dog buns out of the steamer and grabbing a slushie, and I'm just like,
Do you ever take the guy's hat off and then put or his glasses put on your face?
yeah, oh yeah.
And take the robot hats?
Yeah, I stole a bunch of stuff from one guy, threw it all in a trunk of some dude's car, and they took off with it. Oh, you can do so much fun stuff with it.
So anything else outside of destroying your TV and VR?
I not really a whole lot. I mean, I do a lot of photography on the side, and
Okay.
I that kind of pretty much frees up the rest of my free time. Besides,
Is that fun? That sounds rewarding.
I enjoy it.
The local photographer over here.
I've taken a couple pictures. A couple.
Taking a lot of pictures.
So
Over 2 million in the past 7
Jeez,
years.
Wow. Okay.
wow, yeah, I definitely have not hit that yet.
I mean, I don't have that many left. I've deleted so many. I have 315,000 on my hard drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you doing more like event stuff, or are you just out doing like the scenery?
I do a
events
lot
like
of
a wedding, I guess?
nature and
okay.
a lot of, I got really into macro when I went out with a photographer. You probably know him, Jason Helmer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Jason.
Yeah, I go out with him every now and again, and I just did about a week ago a friend's / coworker's wedding, and that was interesting. So
That's cool.
Jason's actually opening a shop with Mike Dixon in Grand Haven.
Yeah.
They're doing some stuff.
yeah,
He's
they're
telling me about
gonna do that
Nice.
gallery, so that'll be cool. I'm really excited for them. That'll be awesome.
it.
But other than
Local
that,
arts.
I
That's
mean,
right.
yeah. Otherwise, I'm just hanging out with Luna.
That's what happens.
Speaking of arts,
Get
one more
kids.
thing. They got some really cool for PSVR sculpting apps now.
Oh yeah.
You know, where you can actually sculpt stuff and mold it with the move controllers. It's so much fun.
Is
You're
it?
grabbing I made
I was
big
really
cities
skeptical on
and-
that when I saw
it's
it, because I
fun.
really wanted to get it, and maybe like
I got a painter one and a sculptor one.
yeah.
I've seen the painting one. Yeah.
Painting one's a little more solid, but the sculpting one's fun as well.
Yeah.
You guys ever played Dino Frontier? I just think that one's really fun because you basically have this
It looks neat.
board in front of you that's a world and you're
Yeah.
playing
Picking up
God.
dinos.
It's-
I-
Well,
Little
you're like
kid. It
you're
looks
doing
like
everything.
Like a
It's
little
like
kid playing with stuff like.
because even when you're in, because think of it like Populous. You gotta physically grab someone, bring them over here and
Yeah.
plop them here. It's like, oh, I gotta
That's
like
kinda fun.
water these plants. You grab a watering can and plant and do all
Yeah.
that. But you also can like grab the map and like zoom it in or pull it towards you like a tray. It's really cool.
Yeah, I wish Luna was a little bit older so I could play with her with that.
Right.
So I wouldn't
She's got to be what 11? What they
yeah,
say?
something like that.
VR, I think
I've
it's
only
like
got like
14 or 15.
9.
Well, I know like the Sony
plus
rep would always say
years.
like you can't if they're not more than 11 they
Yeah,
can't
there
do
was
it. But it's
certain
probably
ages
like
and
a rule they have. But
Yeah.
well, it's good. So we got to talk about Dead Cells, right?
If you wanna, play for the first 7 minutes of this podcast here.
So very hooked on Dead Cells. I'm taking it because
Yeah.
it is
I-
sucking up some time.
Yeah, I mean, I bought it. I pre-ordered it to save $5. Played it the first day for a couple hours.
So you went
and-
digital, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's excellent. It's people say Metroidvania, not really that.
Yeah, no.
Because it's it's a roguelike. It's you're You know, it's a rogue game that's just a 2D kind of hack and slash. You're getting a lot of power-ups, blueprints, got to take them back. I'm sure people have heard quite a bit about this one, but I can't say enough good about it.
Well, it was so weird to me when people said the Castlevania style comparisons because it's quick action. There's basically no need. Well, I mean, not no need to explore, but like there's not a. I have to explore this area and find these things and blah. It's all just randomly generated. So you just kind of make a path. At least in my way I play it, I just make a path. I find like a couple good treasure chests. And I'm like, all right, this is a decent run I'm having. Let's keep going. But it's one of those where you have to beat the whole game all at once. So.
I mean, I'm probably 35 hours in at this point with about 80 runs, and the more I play it, it's just opened up to me. Like I couldn't believe it's a different game. And my roommate's also playing it. He's got over 40 hours, pushing almost 50, and I've seen him doing some things. I'm like, it's almost another game from when I'm playing even. I mean, not a whole lot, but just in terms of mechanics with the wall jump and then going to new areas, and it's just weird. I don't want to spoil too much stuff, but it does open up in some really cool ways. It gets its hooks in you because it's like one more run. Oh, I'll just start this level.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a blueprint.
And it's so quick on that, too.
Off. Yeah,
it's like super quick to just get you back in the game. Like, not like Super Meat Boy style by any means, but like it's like, oh, you died? Let's just go again. You're like, okay, yeah. We'll do that. But the, like I said, if you heard that it was going to be a Metroidvania style thing, don't think that, but check it out. Because if you like games like, say, Rogue Legacy, but you wish it was just way crazier about quick action and reflexes, this is it. And I think that's the only thing I like better about Rogue Legacy is when you beat a boss, they're dead forever.
That's what I was
trying
to
more
think of as
progression. But Dead Cells, I think, is just so much more fun to play. The action
it feels
is tight.
visceral. Yeah, the action and all the, you get to carry two weapons, like a ranged weapon and a melee weapon, and then
the grenades,
two trap things. Yeah, either a grenade and a trap or a little thing that shoots arrows out of it, and just the way you can mix it up between all the different weapons you get. Each time you run it, you can have a totally different feel. Like once you get bored, you're like, oh, instead of an ice shard and a blade, I'm gonna go with this Spartan boot where I kick people in this volley of acid stuff you can throw on people. It's just nuts the amount of different things you can vary it up with. So I cannot say enough good about that. It is probably my favorite game of the year so far. My favorite game on the Switch, right behind Celeste is right behind this, right neck and neck with it. I love Celeste.
It's like such precise and perfect gameplay.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that's kind of what I would say is like they kind of complement each other because Celeste, has got a little bit of action to it, but it's more about pure platforming.
Yeah.
Almost just about the platforming and kind of doing speed runs at the end where Dead Cells is more of about kind of melee action and power-ups and pickups. But yet they got kind of somewhat of the same aesthetic with their, a retro art style, 2D side scroller. But yeah, I just can't say enough good about it.
So, so speaking of games you can't say enough good about, No Man's Sky Next. You were the first person I've had on here who's actually played it. Because I think Brandon installed it but didn't actually turn it on.
I've got 41 hours in No Man's Sky Next.
And just the new stuff?
Yeah, I started a new game for it. Well, you don't have to start a new game. You can play with your old save file, but they give you 8 slots for save files now, which is great because you can keep your old one, start a new one, do a creative mode run, have a save slot where you're open to other people because they had a problem with people kind of griefing you a little bit. But they had just solved that with a new update. So you can restrict what other players can do, can see, and can interact with. I mean, I can't say enough good about this either because No Man's Sky was something conceptually I've always wanted in a game where you could kind of tool around on a planet, explore, see stuff, hop in a spaceship, fly up through the atmosphere, go, cool, I'm in space, dogfight. Whoa, look at that nebula, look at the sun. Oh, there's a planet way over there with a moon next to it. I'm going to fly to it. Whoa, I'm going to land on it. Look at these little Ewok things. I'm going in a cave, an ancient civilization, and then just pick up and go to another place. And that's kind of what they sold you on when it came out.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it didn't quite live up to it, but this is the 4th update in, I think, 2 years since it's been out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of seals the deal. Full-fledged multiplayer with up to 4 people where you can dogfight, build together, do all this stuff. They add a base building anywhere, freighter missions. You can actually land on the freighters, repair them, jump around in your spacesuit and fly around your freighter. Have it be right up in the atmosphere, so when you're on the planet, you can look up and see your freighter right up above the atmosphere there.
So would you say that this is it's fundamentally quite different?
It almost feels different because of the new camera perspective, that and the graphics overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, when you'd fly in, it felt like maybe from the atmosphere to the ground was, say,
super
a mile
shallow.
high. Yeah, really shallow. Or before, say, it was a mile, now it feels like 7 miles.
Oh, wow.
So you're like, whoa, flying way in, and there's a lot bigger features.
Because that would be a lot cooler.
Mountains. And then half of a planet might be all ocean, complete ocean, where you can't even land. You can't land anywhere on half of the planet. And then you keep flying, and all of a sudden, here comes land, a big continent. It's all icy. Here's a mountain. You can land. So there's actually truly different biomes on it now.
That's good. Because that was kind of some of the complaints I had was I landed on a lot of boring planets. And some of it, too, was like, oh, I hear this monster groaning under the earth. And I was like, oh, gosh, I got to go find this thing. And then you find out there's never anything there.
That right there, what you just said, was one of the hugest things that frustrated me. I always heard that groan. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's just baked into the audio. There's nothing.
Yep.
I'm on a lifeless planet. Why is that groan even happening now? Because there's a lot of trickery going on because the game wasn't finished.
Right.
But now does it have that kind of stuff in it?
Oh,
like
yeah.
where you find...
all the animal behavior, they flock in herds more. And now
That's
there's
cool.
really big animals, say your guy is an inch tall. There's animals that are, 200 feet tall compared to you. You look up and they're towers. I've only seen relatively big ones, but I watched a YouTube video where I was blown away at the size of these creatures. Truly a sense of wonder and exploration now. You land on some planets that are completely glassed over with crystal shards and bubbles floating around, and you're like, what the heck happened here? And you start to find lore and set up a scanner and start to dig into how that planet got glassed over. So they're adding so much more narrative. I mean, they have been through the last 3 updates, but, I didn't play too much with the other updates. I played a lot when it came out, a little bit through the other updates, and now playing with this big one and starting over with all that other stuff interjected with all the new stuff.
Yeah.
It is No Man's Sky 2. I mean, you might as well look at it as a completely different game because it looks different, plays different, feels different. It's the same core concept and everything, but just ready for commercial consumption.
Right.
Finally.
It's finally released. No Man's Sky.
I could deal with it before because I like the concept, like I said, but no.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible game when it first came out. I just think it just there wasn't enough there. And I think having
small team
my
too.
ability,
It
wasn't like 6 people or something.
You
but
can't blame them.
But now that I'm like, I could take my ship and not only have probably better controlling dogfights than before, especially now in third person, which I think is great.
Amazing.
You can do, land on those freighters and have missions. And it feels like there's a little bit. I mean, the combat probably still isn't any much better, but it feels like there's more to everything, and that's a big deal to me.
And there's actually a YouTube community sprouting up a little bit behind it. So, and the thing, I think this may sound weird, but the thing that's really going to hook and get a lot of people into this game is the base building and co-op, because it's getting more of a Minecraft thing where you're getting thousands of base parts. And what you see people in Fortnite doing all the time is going up quick, building those ramps, right? As they're going up real high, they're throwing the ramps down. You can do that same thing in No Man's Sky as you're base building. Throwing down a ramp as you're running up as people are shooting you. And you can actually build a ramp all the way up to the top of the atmosphere and build a spaceport right at the edge of the atmosphere.
That's awesome.
I was looking at this video going, you're kidding me. In the clouds with things coming in, guys jumping around, lasering each other around the thing. I'm like, this is just a precursor to things to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're building the community. It's there now. Everyone on the YouTube, they're having fun. They're like, oh, man, this is great. Look what we're finding. Instead of the complaints and people picking it apart videos, it's, wow, look at the fun we're having.
It's what it should have been.
We're building. Yeah.
Yeah. Now everyone is like,
I'm not hearing anyone say anything bad.
this whole thing that they wanted to do was discovering these cool things and seeing these cool planets.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them.
I had that game pre-ordered up until the last minute, and then I was like, this is a giant disappointment.
Yeah.
So I was over it, and then And so when this final update came out, I was like, all right, I think it's about time for me to invest in this now, especially with the amount of work these guys have put into it. Holy
and
cow.
I feel so bad for Sean. I met Sean in person. Sean
Really?
Murray. Yeah, he was super nice, incredibly shy and humble, and I just felt so bad when everything came his way. But he took it like a champ. He was like, hey, we're going to listen. We're going to do what we can. We're going to make this happen.
That's awesome.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but Sean Murray promised me this. And it's like, well, I mean,
We all know how some people can get.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
They
passionate.
like to lash out. They're upset about things in their own life, so they find games. Blah, 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 blah. Games are hard
even
to
just
make.
like,
All they wanna do is
maybe
make the
Sean
fun
said
stuff
something
for
like,
us.
oh, yeah,
Right.
you can play with your friends. And everyone's like, multiplayer, it's there.
Yeah, that's what's hard. And the other thing is, initially they probably were trying to put that in there, but
Ran
then
out of time.
Sony got behind it. We're gonna push it out quicker. It just didn't happen. But you look at it now. Say, throw everything out the window. Say this is the game that launched 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It would have not only lived up to expectations, it would have surpassed it and would have gotten between 8s and 10s.
Yeah.
If
Guaranteed.
anything, I would have wished that they would have delayed it,
I don't
and
think
given
it could have
themselves.
worked like that though, because they needed to iterate off of people. Like
Maybe that's
they needed
true.
a early access or something.
Early
Yeah.
access would have been
Yeah.
if they would have named it that. I think
Yeah,
we would have
but
been
Sony
happy.
doesn't let them
Or
do
some
that,
kind
only
of
Xbox and
beta,
PC can do
and
that.
I think
Yeah.
that would have helped them a little bit more, and then release it. But
But at the same
it
time,
is what it is.
Yeah, you look at where we're
So-
at right now in the here and the now. Everybody's got a lot of goodwill. Like, man, all free. They delivered. This game's great. Now they did. It's
Yeah.
like the success story. Everyone goes, wow, because they took a lot of hate. They delivered something amazing now, and everyone kind of looks back and goes, well, 95% of the people know they didn't intend. They're like, it's not no man's lie. They weren't
Yeah.
trying to rip people off. They got overhyped. He didn't realize what it was. He didn't know
needed
how
a
to be
PR guy.
salesperson. Exactly.
He needed a PR guy.
Because he's
But-
passionate like I am. I want
Yeah.
to give you everything. I'm trying to give you everything, but in the time constraint,
I
the
can't
money
do
I
it.
have, I can't. I
Right.
want to give it to you, but I can't.
And I
that's
think
him.
what you said too is very true. It's just like they did so much for free because they knew they had to do this and they wanted to do this, so they did it.
And they did it. That's
Yeah.
not the thing. They did the work. All the updates leading up to this were good. You know, the Pathfinder, they put vehicles in that were fun. The graphics slowly got better each couple months. They
Yeah.
increasingly get better and better and better. 6 months after the game came out, there was a few updates that made it marginally better than release. And then a year after, with the Foundation update, it got significantly better.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's just a whole nother thing. So
Maybe Ubisoft should take tips from them.
Ubisoft supports their games forever though. Like all their games are like, well, we're not gonna make a new one. We're just gonna support this for a fourth year.
in the end, I'm just happy to
I
say
appreciate that from Ubisoft.
I think
to be
Hello
honest.
Games in the end is a success story because everybody's
I'm
happy
normally
with
a
them.
good Ubisoft supporter, but the whole Assassin's Creed thing just.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
I forget Assassin's Creed is Ubisoft sometimes because I just forget about that series. To be honest,
I know.
It's like, I was glad that they took and I didn't write this down for news. I was glad they took a year off to make Origins because Origins was a big comeback for them.
Yes,
Seemed like it
that
was
was
pretty good. I
played it for a
amazing.
minute.
They made this next game, which is the year later, and probably because they had the assets and the things to do it. And then this year they're like, we're not going to do one for 2019. We're going to take another break because they
Good.
realize they need to.
Yeah.
So when is this coming out?
Assassin's
Or-
Creed.
Yeah.
Oh well, the Odyssey is this year.
All right.
And then
Yeah.
2019 they won't have another.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been-
2020
it's
will
weird.
probably
I'm
be the
so
next
tied into
announcement
some
for
things
one.
and other
Yeah.
things. I'm like, oh yeah, that's coming out. I forgot.
I
Yeah.
mean-
oh, and there's Just Cause 4
I wouldn't
is
be
coming
surprised
out. Oh, yeah,
if they
forgot.
did.
What?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a teaser or some kind of announcement
Yeah,
in
like announce it.
2019. You know, look forward to
Do an
Assassin's
announcement.
Creed.
That's all right. So anything else that you wanted to mention or anything, Jeremy? I wasn't sure what else.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about upcoming games at all in a later segment.
There's some stuff, yeah.
Or a little about web slinging at all. If you got anything
we
about
can, We
that.
can talk about Spider-Man.
Oh my
all day.
god! All right, how excited are you?
You're talking to Spidey fan number 1 over here. That's not true. But I really like Spider-Man's my boy.
A week
I
from
need it.
Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be losing my mind.
That's out in less than 2 weeks. So this game looks freaking amazing, right?
I think I'm gonna tell my wife that I'm not available to do anything that Friday. She'll understand.
It looks
Legitimately though, like any Spider-Man game that gives me the ability to swing around, including Disney Infinity 2.0, it sold me because of this. Any game that lets me swing around as Spider-Man is a good game to me. But I've also had those as like giant stress relievers. Like when I'm really frustrated with something or I'm just angry or whatever, I used to just turn on Spider-Man 2 or Web of Shadows and just
Spider-Man
web
2.
sling. Do nothing else. Just web sling around.
Oh,
'Cause it
yeah.
was super fun.
It is. It's easy
This
to get
will be
caught
the
up.
best
like,
Spider-Man game
Yeah.
ever, won't it?
Oh, it will
It
Probably.
will be. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, without a
from what
doubt.
we've seen, without a doubt, it will be.
I think that a lot of people are getting hung up on it being like, oh, it's so Arkham-like in its combat. For one, I want to say Arkham did
Thank
not
you.
make this combat.
No.
For one, I mean, they revised it from stuff like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Right.
You know, so it's not obviously the same, but similar. Like, that combat system has existed. They just really nailed it. But also, Spider-Man 2 did this before Batman Arkham Asylum.
That's right.
Spider-Man 2 had the it wasn't like counters, but it was 100% the dodging from Spider-Sense. And it makes more sense that he would be able
Spider-Man
to do
2
that.
was the most revered one, really, right?
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
play-
Because of
I
the web
forgot,
slinging.
What
what
was
it's at.
Spider-Man 1? What,
It
was
was
that on PS2 as well?
Yeah, it was on PS2 and all that. And it was
But it
just
just
kind of
was-
whatever.
yeah.
But the second
I
one
know I
was the
played
big
it,
deal
but I just don't
because
remember
you
when-
had to hit a building, you had to hit a thing, you had to pay attention to
I just remember
fulcrums.
delivering the pizzas. You're late, Parker.
Yeah.
Where's the pizza?
Spider-Man 2 is more. Spider-Man 2 is more open world, whereas Spider-Man
Yeah.
1 was very mission based.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man
Oh,
1
yeah.
also had that thing like the PS1 games where there was like a fog underneath, so you couldn't go onto the ground.
Oh,
Yeah, so you just swung around in the
Oh,
air.
yeah. But I just remember how good Spider-Man 2. Me and my buddies, we sat around all summer once just playing that.
Yeah.
All
Oh, yeah.
summer long. When we got bored, Spider-Man 2 was our game of the summer.
So while we're speaking of games we're very excited about, I know you want to talk about Red Dead
Oh my
over
gosh.
here.
I'm so pumped. like
Spider-Man might be more better.
I'll tell you what,
Spider-Man, for this
Red
time
Dead,
of the year, but Red Dead at
How
the
lucky
end of
are
the
we?
Yeah,
a few
we're
months.
so lucky.
Because it's kind of the end of the year.
I mean, once
Sort
Red
of.
Dead launches, there's no other games coming out
I know.
forever.
I looked.
so-
I mean, Just Cause 4 was the only other kind of big one that I really seen coming up.
until next year.
That's
yeah.
not even that
Yeah.
big.
We'll
but-
argue that point later, Eddie.
Are we?
No,
Wait, hold
Red
on.
Dead
What-
and Spider-Man. are gonna
What
be
game comes out
best.
after Red Dead that you're excited about?
Super Smash Brothers.
I like that we all forgot about that big
yeah.
game. Well, the one that has everyone except for Waluigi.
Oh yeah.
Why did they take Waluigi out?
Waluigi's been in the game, but he's always been an assist trophy. And typically they claim that if you're an assist trophy, you won't be a character. However, I think I read or saw or something that so far he has not been shown or confirmed as an assist trophy. I honestly think last minute Waluigi will be announced as the final Smash component to the game.
Or DLC.
No, I think he'll be like the very last trailer or maybe like the day before release or something. You're going to get this video that just goes, "Wah!" and then it's like, and it does the Waluigi joins the fight.
You're probably
You know,
right.
I have to be honest. Nintendo has definitely upped their game when
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes to like releasing games and like all their teasers and stuff. So
See
you
all
gotta
those
give
Their,
them
They're
props.
directs,
Those
and
Smash
they got
Brother
that.
games.
They got the in Nintendo. What do they call that? The Nindies Direct coming out in like a couple days. So they're really pushing their indie stuff. They have a ton of first party titles going crazy. Like they're living because like I remember the first year for the Switch, they said you will get a first party game once a month for the whole year, and I think they did not disappoint. I think they actually had a first, even though some of them were ports. I think they had a first party launch every month,
Wow.
which is crazy.
So do you know what
Yeah.
they have planned for their old games? Because I know they're not doing the retro thing anymore. What was that called?
Virtual console.
Virtual console.
Yeah.
So I know they have something else in place, but have you heard anything
So,
about that?
There's no virtual console by name, but there's a virtual console because it's part of the subscription service.
All right.
So it's like $20 for
Are you
the
going to
year.
be able to buy some games? Are there going to be? Because I know the eShop's huge right now, but do you think there's going to be a separate one for like, here's Metroid, here's Super Metroid, here's Pilot Wings, here's
Nope.
this?
They will roll it in as Netflix style service for the subscription, to my knowledge. Which
I
means
guess is
that
kinda
like,
good and
and
bad.
well, and they're adding like the online stuff and some online co-op and whatnot too. So
But what if I'm like, I want Marble Madness and Deadly Towers and Adventures of Bayou Billy? Some really, one kind of cool game.
I really wish
obscure
all of the
games.
ones you mentioned would ever be launched on there because
Exactly,
Bayou Billy's
but
awesome.
I know, like copyright stuff aside, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Seems like they could really hold them back. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We still haven't heard, and it launches sometime in a month. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Eric,
Oh, I thought Ann was going to talk more about Red Dead.
Oh yeah.
Ann.
Very good.
No, I'll be honest. I was, I mean, I've been waiting how long for Red Dead?
Too long.
Yeah, exactly. Like
2008.
Was it that? Was it 10 years?
No, wait.
Maybe.
9.
Well, because it was after BioShock, I think. That was 2007.
After BioShock.
I could look it up.
I think it was 09 though.
All right.
Or 09 at the latest.
yeah, 2008, 2009 time, and I do remember because I did take a vacation for that week, and that's all I did all week was play Red Dead.
I've never done that for a game. I've never taken time
Really?
off. I haven't taken time off for my birthday though either. So
I also did that for Inquisition when that came out. I took a vacation and I played it the entire week. I think I left the couch for necessities.
How did you feel about Dragon Age Inquisition? Because I thought it was really good, and apparently the internet hates it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Inquisition, especially coming
it's
from
great.
Dragon Age 2. We've had this discussion multiple times. but
We've had this discussion.
Oh my
Dragon Age 2
gosh.
makes me so mad.
I don't even
You know
like-
that the world has come around on Dragon Age 2 saying it's a
No.
great game?
No. There's nothing good about Dragon Age 2. Nothing. You know, you put so much effort into this game to choose every decision with all of your being of which direction you want to go, and in the end it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's spoilers. If you haven't played that game or you don't know anything about it, you're lost.
Yeah,
like, it's
you
been
get
out
to the
long
end of the
enough.
game and it's like, you chose the side of the Templars or whatever it was.
Yeah, too bad.
Too bad. You're going to deal with this too.
Yep.
It's like, I guess, like,
It
what was the
doesn't
point?
matter, yeah. And I was so angry. I was
too. I was super mad when I finished that game.
Yeah, 'cause
like, I put up with the BS.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I put up with okay, I get it.
And
They made it in 9 months. I'm going to
the
go through this
weird
door and I
art-
go through the same room for 10 different situations.
Oh yeah, the
but-
same exact setup for every cave, every room was the exact same, except it's just mirrored this time. Sweet, bro.
The left door doesn't open. The right door does
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, and
By the way, Red Dead came out
weird-
2010.
Ah.
I looked it up.
yeah, so 8 years we've been waiting, but yeah, like I loved Inquisition. I thought that was fantastic.
thought it was
I
really
thought
good.
they did an amazing job with it, and especially coming from Dragon Age 2, kudos.
Yeah, and I
Like-
thought that the way that they handled like upgrades and like for like armor and everything
I
at your base, I thought that was really cool.
Loved it, and the menu system was
Yeah.
fantastic.
And they brought
it-
like kind of some of the tactics back from Origins
Yep.
and everything. So
Yeah, and that's what I really liked about it too.
Killed a lot of
'cause-
dragons.
Oh yeah. The only thing that really bummed me out was at the end I didn't get my dragon trophy after I beat the game. It's a glitch.
oh, that's stupid.
Sometimes depending on the game or the console, I don't remember, but sometimes for some games it doesn't count the first dragon you kill.
That's stupid.
So you have to go back and kill that first dragon again. So that's exactly what I had to do. I was a little upset, but I did it. I did it in like 2 hours. And I died a lot, but it was worth it.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
worth my trophy. So, but anyways, Red Dead again.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be great. I'm really excited. I was a little skeptical when I saw the trailer come out, and then I watched it, and I was like, this is going to be a good one. I have a
Oh, yeah.
feeling I might
It's
end
got a
up.
lot of graphics.
It is.
Yeah.
I will
Got
say
all the graphics.
the first Red Dead Redemption, to me, is by far Rockstar's best effort in games. I think, like, I appreciate and respect the heck out of Grand Theft Auto 5, but to me, Red Dead was still a better video game in every way. San Andreas was pretty good. You're right. Maybe I might have to rethink
But I
that
mean,
one.
like, it's a hard.
I would have to challenge L.A. Noire.
I did like
as
that
well.
one.
It's all right.
I like the
I
story
think
a lot.
it's a
in
very
LA.
niche game, though.
Yeah. My only problem is once you find out that there's a way to kind of cheat every situation, it like hurt my feelings a
Yeah.
little bit. It's kind of like BioShock when you find out you could just die and it doesn't matter.
Right, yeah. But
I saw table tennis is pretty good.
Yeah, it was. That's true. They had some good sweat
that
in that
table
game.
tennis, I tell you what.
All that tech, though, I mean, it was basically tech that went into other games.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was cool. It was a good game. Like that was, you got this awesome tech demo, but then you also got a really sweet game out of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm really excited for the second Red Dead. It's about time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Thank you for finally feeding my desire.
The
Now just wait
graphics do
for
look
Red Dead
amazing,
Redemption
though, right?
Online, where it'll be just like GTA, and you'll spend too much money on it.
It might be
Yeah.
one of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of throwing people
It
out of
really
cars,
might
you'll
be.
be
It
throwing
really
people off
might
of
be.
horses.
Like that vista when
Get
it
out of my
comes up
way.
and there's a mountain range there. It was like,
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
it reminded me of the first time I saw that shot in Zelda when he's just standing in the for Breath of the Wild. He's standing in the field, and you're like,
And the
huh,
panel's like,
wait a second. He's moving, and then the Guardian comes in, and I'm just like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. I love Zelda. Hey, Eric. Eric, how are you? You've been so
Fine.
quiet over there. Jeez.
He's been making some
Looming in the corner.
That's beautiful.
Eric's art.
Eric, what have
Guess
you
I
been
caught
playing? What have you been doing?
Lost in thought.
You've been doing some film work. You've been doing some video games. I gotta
Mostly
look way over
playing-
there too. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know you had to tilt your head way over there. Mostly currently been playing, of course, Friday the 13th.
And that's still going strong for you.
Oh, yes. My friends keep bringing me back in as much as I try to get out. I'll be playing Mega Man X Collection, and I'll be like...
He acts like he doesn't really want to play that game more than any game. We all know Eric. It's his favorite game.
What, you play
It
that on
is.
PC?
no, on
PlayStation?
Xbox.
Xbox.
I know there's a
Look at this,
there's a
like
line
this
in the
evil eye
sand.
that Ann was given.
There's a line in the sand, and the cool people are on this side with their Xbox Ones.
Hey, I got an Xbox One.
That's why
I
I said
want an
that's why I
Xbox
pointed
One
the-
X. I want that new Forza game.
I
But
will.
no,
No, thanks.
I was gonna say like I'll sell you mine, and then I'll buy a computer instead. Because this is the only reason I was thinking about this. Like, if another Xbox came out, like the next Xbox, and it still did the whole thing where all of their exclusives are on a PC, why wouldn't I just build a PC
Exactly.
and then play those Xbox games even better, like Forza Horizon 4 at I don't know, better frame, 60 frames instead of 30 or something.
4K at 60 frames?
Yeah.
that's
But
what-
man, I can't wait for Forza Horizon 4. Anyway, sorry, Eric. Go ahead. Friday the
fine.
13th.
So I've been playing Mega Man X Collection.
Yes.
Streamed all those, beat all those, 1 through 6. Got to 7, and I realized I hate
Oh,
Mega Man.
7's terrible. 7's terrible. 8 though was all right.
Well, I just got to the last boss, Wily, and I'm just like, huh.
Wait, Wily's an X7?
No, and number 7.
Oh, number 7.
No, I've
Yeah,
beat...
7's not that great either.
No,
Sorry.
Sorry,
world.
But no, I just started playing the Mega Man X Collection,
Okay.
and I just beat the first one. Finally got the Hadouken,
The Hadouken is the best because it kills everyone instantly.
if you have full health.
That's true. But it means you can beat Sigma in one shot, so you don't even got to try.
Well, one Sigma. The final form of Sigma, it's a little tricky.
Ain't nothing. I'm just kidding.
I'm
just kidding.
Show me, Eddie.
He looked so offended for a second.
I just like to tease you, Eric. You're the game master. Please continue. I saw you in that movie, The Wizard, where you won the tournament.
No, I was. I played Lucas with the glove. The power
Oh,
glove.
that's right. You were so rad. So bad? I don't know what
Yeah,
you were.
so
You were the
bad.
best.
How is it?
I have no idea. I've never had.
I
a power
guess it
glove.
motions like you're in a car, but like it kind of reminds me of the Wii wheel. Remember from
Yeah.
Mario
Oh,
Kart?
yeah.
I played a lot of
Oh,
Mario Kart
wheel.
with that wheel.
So
My
did
friends,
I.
they were like, you can't even beat that. It's way better to play with the controller. It'd be so much better. And then I played them all online and beat them with a golden wheel. As in, like, it was gold on the thing because I was winning so much. Eat it,
I mean,
Ferrari.
you can get some slight nuance.
Yeah, I just felt like the game was balanced a little more for the wheel. But
It's
I could
hard
play
to
it
try-
either way.
It's hard to play a racing game with a stick, left, right, back. Like now that I'm playing with the wheel in VR all the
Oh,
time,
yeah, that's
driving
true.
games, I go back to a controller. I'm like, what? How do you do that without a wheel?
Yeah.
I can't play racing games without a wheel now.
It's like fighting
Spoiled.
games with a fight stick. I can't. It doesn't feel right to me without one. So, Eric, sorry. Mega Man X Collection.
Do you play that
Yes.
with a wheel?
I can try.
Or do you play with a fight stick?
I can try with a fight stick. But no, mostly I've been
DDR.
waiting for Doom Eternal.
Oh
Oh,
man.
yes.
When is that? When's the date?
There
on that?
is no release date yet, but there.
I was like,
I'm
what if they seek
assuming.
that out
We
this
will
shit?
see a release date in
With
3
the game
years.
footage, I would say probably next
March.
year,
Probably March or something.
April,
I
or
bet.
May.
I bet you. Yeah, we get Doom
February,
and
March.
Rage quick. I bet.
All I
That's
wa-
what they did with Resident Evil in 2017.
January, January
Is that preloaded?
17th, on 2019 January. Yeah, Resident Evil 2.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The
Man.
remake.
Oh, that's all
Yeah.
redone. That looks really good too. I was watching some videos for it. It's all done with the new tech, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you like how they're talking about like, oh, hey, you might be able to, remaking Resident Evil remakes not out of the question. Like they're willing to remake Resident Evil 1 for the 4th time. I think is great.
I would love it if they do 3.
I would love it if they just did all of them.
Well,
Just
they
do it
know
all.
that people are going to buy it.
never-
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
like Skyrim
There
every
was never
time.
such
Hey,
a-
guys, get Skyrim for this system. Hey, guys, get Skyrim for this. All right, we'll just buy it
I
all.
almost hate Skyrim at this point. I'm like, I see you everywhere. I'm so sick of you.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how I
I
am.
went
I'm
back
Skyrim'd
and I played.
out.
I played
So
Oblivion
clanky
because
now.
it was on Game Pass.
Oh
I was
my
like, I'm gonna play Oblivion again. I'm gonna check this out because there's things about Oblivion I think they do better than Skyrim.
There
And
are a
it's mainly
few.
just like, hey, elves look like elves and dwarves look like dwarves. Or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's-
there's a lot of diversity. Even though there's like 2 voice actors.
And the
in
voice,
the
I
whole
was going
game.
to say, not the voice acting.
But it doesn't hold up as well. But it's still
Right.
pretty good. I don't know.
It feels super clunky too going
Yeah.
from Skyrim to Oblivion. I dumped way too many hours into Oblivion though.
Oh,
I had
Oblivion
like
was so
4
good.
records and one was like 500 hours and
Wow.
one
I
was like
think the-
200 hours.
When
It
Oblivion
put
was-
first
most
came
time
out, it was
into
amazing.
ridiculous.
It was
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
God,
like,
it just swept me up.
wasn't that like wasn't fast travel when they introduced it into the Elder Scrolls?
I think
Or
that
could
was
you
the
do
one.
that?
Yeah.
You could do that in
think
Oblivion.
That game
Yeah.
came out in
'Cause
2006.
Morrowind, you had to write those
Because
bugs.
yeah, that's right. Because I remember way back when I was dating my ex, he's like, they put that fast travel in just to introduce new people into it. He was a little like jaded
I
about
don't
it,
understand why
but
people like. I get it in certain things, like Dark Souls. I don't want it in the first Dark Souls because I feel like the game is built around the fear of going into a position
Yeah.
that you may never get out of. And
yeah,
I think that is an amazing fear. But I love Bloodborne the most, and that has fast travel all up the wazoo, and I'm okay with it because
Some
the
people
game was
have
built for it.
50-hour-a-week jobs and can't walk
Right.
back and forth.
right.
Yeah,
Some of us work 2 jobs and have children.
And you know what?
Yeah.
If you don't want to fast travel,
just don't do
then
it.
you don't use fast travel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it gets more people to play the game you think is amazing, just let it be.
And that's good
Yeah.
because more money in the pot means more stuff.
I didn't
for you.
even use the fast travel that much because it was like the reason why I racked
Yeah.
up so many hours was because I just run through and all
You
of
got to
a sudden,
find all those caves.
I see a checkpoint over there. Oh, I see a marker over here. Like you get lost, and like a day later, all of a sudden you're like, how long have I been playing this? And I didn't even do the mission the quest I was supposed to do.
Oblivion's going to be 13 this spring.
Oh, what a little guy. I probably spent the most time playing old Oblivion because I didn't have a 360 and I didn't have a PC that could run Oblivion on its own. But someone patched it to look worse and run worse.
Oh my
And they
god!
called it Old Oblivion, so I could still play the game.
Potato version
Kinda, yeah. So Eric, you played Mega Man X collection
with the gamepad.
on a Guitar Hero controller.
No, it was a DDR pad.
It was a
Anything else
DDR.
for you? Anything else you wanted to bring up?
Well, I'm just thinking, and kind of reminded me that the same day that Red Dead came out, it was Alan Wake's birthday as well.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
game sucked. No, I'm just kidding. It's really good. I'm just kidding.
The flashlight was
Kill me.
fun to move around. It was a flashlight.
But yeah, that's the sequel I'm waiting for.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
Did you play Quantum Break?
Yes.
Was it good?
I
Quantum
actually
Break?
enjoyed Quantum Break quite a bit.
Okay.
I will say this. They had quite a few teasers for Alan Wake 2 that really ticked me off because they were just teases.
Oh.
They were just going,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
yeah, we know we did Alan Wake 2, and yeah, it would be cool if there was a sequel, but
You know, I just realized what that sound was up front. I think it's thunder.
Oh yeah,
It was lightning on the way here.
Thunder.
It was
Storms
gorgeous.
tonight.
It was like pink lightning in the sky.
What?
Did you
Yeah.
say
Tell me that type of
Thundercats?
stuff.
No, I didn't. So I have played just. I'll mention a couple things that I played before we move on, because I went back to Hollow Knight because I was talking about that last time we were recording, and I decided I was just going to focus solely on Hollow Knight and just finish it. And it was a lot longer than I thought. I was only like
Really?
halfway through it, and it's like a 20-hour game.
You finished Hollow Knight?
I finished it, but I didn't get the true ending.
Oh, I heard there was a hard thing
And
where you got to
it's-
do like
The
hell
normal ending
platforming.
is like the
you got to
normal
go
ending is
through
a
hell,
bummer.
don't you?
It's something about
I heard
having
it's
enough
hard.
dream essence and taking out, and apparently I took out the hardest boss requirement for the true ending. So really I just got to go find like one other boss.
I heard it was
and
hard
beat him.
platforming though.
I don't
Someone
know.
was saying that's what I heard on another podcast somewhere.
It's got some spots on it that are pretty tricky, but I don't know. That game was super good, and like I was telling you earlier, it's weird to me that people would complain that you don't get a map and have to roam around for a little bit and find your way. I find that it's like, yeah, that's part of the exploration.
I got a map. I went and
That's
bought
such
it
a
and bought
lazy
the quill.
thing to say.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, with the quill, it's just like, yeah, once you sit down at a bench, everywhere you've gone is now on a map.
They're making it part of the game mechanics.
Right. And for me,
What's
it's
wrong
just
with
like,
that? Something different.
first of all, like the guy, once you get into an area, the guy's usually pretty close. But also, if you're paying attention where you're going, I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. It's like, I got to go to the left.
I don't know. Maybe it's a generation thing because
Possibly.
we all grew up without maps.
People
Like, come
complain
on.
when they don't give you something. People complain when they give you something, right? I don't want fast travel, but I need a map. But I want fast travel. I'm getting it. Not that game.
Yeah.
It's like they'll
Yeah.
argue always the opposite.
There's
but-
always something that somebody's gonna complain about,
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter what.
Yep. That's definitely huge in the gaming culture, I've found.
I played some Octopath Traveler again. I put it down for a bit because I got to spots that were really hard, and I realized, why even try to do that? Why don't I just go to an easier part? So I did. But then on my way there, I found out that I could just go get subclasses. Or I shouldn't call them subclasses. They're, I forget what they call them. They call them, I think, just job classes. And then there's advanced job classes. Because you'll go and get the warrior job class. But that means you can equip anyone to have the warrior as a subclass.
Oh.
So it's not that like your warrior goes and gets a subclass. It's that you get the warrior class to give someone as a sub. So I have, say, for example, Primrose, who's a dancer, and she sucks for fighting certain things because she can hold a dagger and nothing gets broken by daggers. So I made her a huntress as well. And it changes her outfit in battle, which is fun. I like that in games. And then it allows her to equip axes and bows and also have another set of skills.
That's
so
awesome.
It's like, it's really cool, and it's really opened up strategy in that game in a different way. And that game continues to be absolutely incredible. And the other thing I played was Splatoon 2 because it's the best. America, your game is shining true. No, it was the Splat Fest, which I was unaware of, but I was playing with a couple people and from the store that I became friends with, and it was a lot of fun. We owned a lot of those matches. It was a great time. Splatoon 2, best game ever, right, Eric? He said yes. Y'all heard it. All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back, and we'll chat about some news.
Sweet.
All right, and we are back, and I'm going to apologize for one thing. Apparently, for first half of the first half, I wasn't moving the camera at all. So I kept making camera swaps, and thought I was making camera swaps, and they weren't happening. So sorry for the really long shot of our heads, if you're watching it. And also, Jeremy had to step out. He's very tired and has to wake up very early to do some work, so I can't blame him there. But thank you for joining. And now, let's talk, Eric.
Yes.
About For Honor. It's free on Steam. I just wanted to mention it. If you have, and it's not one of those like limited time things. It is free.
Right, yeah.
You can just have it.
Yeah.
Ubisoft's like, I don't care.
Well, and plus I think, like, I don't know, Steam always seems to get away with a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're so, like, gamer friendly. They do.
Except for when they don't like to make games. Come on, Valve. Just kidding. We're
Where's
making a card
Left 4
game or
Dead
something.
3?
Let's not talk about the threes, okay? We don't have any threes from that company. We haven't gotten... The funniest thing to me is like people are like, Half-Life 3, Half-Life 3. And I'm like, you haven't even gotten episode 3 of Half-Life 2.
Exactly.
You haven't even gotten that 3.
Maybe they can't count that high.
Maybe. Eric, I almost feel like you should sit like in that chair now, like
Yeah.
right in the middle.
You should.
So that way I can
You
see you.
should have a seat in the higher chair.
I like the little sitting chair.
Whatever, Eric. Fine, whatever you want to do. I don't even care.
We'll just say the Invisible Man is sitting right here.
You know what? Just because of that, I'm going to tell you, your favorite little game, your Bloodstained, ain't coming out ever.
No.
It's never coming out. You wanted it on the Vita? It's gone. It's canceled. That's actually true, but
It was canceled for the Wii U first, which was the biggest thing that
yeah,
kicked
that's
me in
kind
the
of.
pants.
Well, at least they moved it to the Switch. You know what I mean? Wii U.
Well, I mean, I liked that Koji came out and straight
Yeah.
up was like, hey guys, I have this announcement. It wasn't like just like, here.
Whoops.
Yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. You know, I respect that. Ooh, it's really coming down now.
Man, he left at the right time. It's like, it's going to destroy him. It's going to pelt him to the earth.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was really cool that they announced it like that.
Yeah.
He came on, he was like, you know, it's going to be delayed, and we canceled the Vita version, and which makes sense. I mean, at this point in time, I was a diehard Vita girl when it
Were you
came
really?
out. I was.
Okay.
I bought the original one. I
Oh,
kept the
goodness.
original one, even when they had the Slim come out. I was like, I like my original better.
The original had the OLED screen.
Yeah.
And a better screen.
It did, and it felt better in your hands, you
Yeah,
know.
I
And
agree.
it just, I don't know. I didn't like the Slim, and I
I feel
played it
terrible
out
because I
until-
got a Vita from Sony, and I gave it away. Or I didn't give it away. I basically gave it away. But I played through Uncharted, and I played Hot Shots, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't need this anymore. And then
Yeah.
I was kind of sad because I was like, well, now I have a PS4. It'd be really sweet to have a Vita, and I could play my PS4 in my bed. And that'd be awesome. But I hear that's not the best.
I tried it a couple of times, and it wasn't that great.
Is there a lot of input lag?
Yeah, there was a
Okay.
little bit there, and it was just like it felt like there was a lot missing, you know, trying to bring like this game from, you know, your screen from the PS4 onto like this little console. It just didn't feel like it was quite up to par.
Like it didn't like calibrate correctly?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
So it was, I don't know. But I finally gave up my Vita.
You can kind of see it. A little lightning. Whoosh.
Oh, yeah.
Just seeing if it would show up.
So yeah, I finally gave up my Vita, and I don't know. It just feels super obsolete now. Nobody wants
so
Vita
weird.
stuff anymore. Like I gotta give Sony props for it. They
It was
they
like a
really
great
tried.
device.
Yeah, they really tried. I think they put out a really solid handheld device for, you know, what it was when it was released, and
But unfortunately, like put no games on it.
yeah, they didn't put
They
any
didn't, like,
games
support
on
it.
it, and they didn't really push it like Nintendo always pushes their DSs and
Yeah.
their games on DS. It's like, I don't know, I feel like they were just kind of like, here's a handheld, and then we're
Remember
like,
the PSP
oh.
sort of, kind of?
Yeah.
Apparently the PSP is like outselling stuff still, I'm sure, in the...
Oh, I'm sure they are for
It's
whatever
ridiculous.
reason. Like, you know, I might be just because it's so cheap now, but
Maybe.
yeah. So I'm kind of glad that they just decided to ixnay the Vita
Yeah.
version and focus on the actual game. That's just me, though.
Eric, how you feeling, though? You okay over there?
I had my Curse of the Moon, so
Have you finished that?
yeah. Well, I finished the first time. My
Okay.
buddy has actually played through the second time and almost.
Wait, is it different? Is there something different?
There is a few things different. Yes.
Really? I'm going to go back and play.
Yeah. If you go through the second round, there's some big noticeable stuff, and I guess there's even. I think he even told me that there might be a third playthrough, and so
wow.
forth.
Consider me excited. I'm going to go back and play it, because it was pretty short. I mean,
And
which was fine.
Here's my problem with Bloodstain is when they originally announced it, why I kickstarted it was going to be 2D graphics.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was always 2.5.
No, they had they actually had sprites, drawn sprites.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And so
I'd prefer that.
well, the thing is visually it looks better.
Yeah.
And while this game still looks great, I mean, if you look at, and this is a good example of why I don't want 2D 2.5 is
Nice.
If the
Cas-
podcast like dies somewhere in the middle, just it's a giant storm outside. I'm sorry.
Castlevania Mirror of Fate looks so bland.
I didn't hate that game though. I know a lot of
The
people
3D
did,
looks great. I mean, that was probably one of the best looking 3D games on the 3DS. But
but- Oh jeez.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
man.
are we
happening.
still recording?
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
The lights are flickering.
It's Jason. He's outside.
I don't know if that's picking up on the mic. We paused for Giant Thunder. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just was joking. I said that was Jason outside.
Okay. Well, here's some good news. I don't know if anyone here plays Hitman at all or wanted to play Hitman, but if you thought that new Hitman was cool, but you didn't get into it and you felt bad about it, and you're like, oh, but Hitman 2, well, guess what? You get to play both.
Yeah.
All in one game.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I was always very skeptical about the Hitman series. I'm like, it looks pretty cool, but I don't know. So this makes me want to pick it up and
Yeah,
be
it-
like, It's worth it.
And if you didn't catch what I meant, when you buy Hitman 2, they're actually folding in all of the original Hitman Season 1 content into the second game. So it's like when you buy Left 4 Dead 2 on PC, you get all of Left 4 Dead 1.
Right.
It's fantastic.
But
That makes me want to buy it.
Yeah, but they also say that because it's download, they say that if you already have Season 1 and you buy Hitman 2, all you have to do is like, I don't remember what the article said. It was like, it's already included in there. You don't have to pay extra or something like that. It was really weirdly
maybe like
worded.
a super discount on the game or something.
That's
like
what I was
pay
wondering.
30 instead
like
of 60.
it was
like that.
I think it was like a GameSpot article or something, and the guy was like, "Oh, if you already have Season 1, then it's no extra charge or something weird like that." I was like, "What?"
All right.
So I don't know. But
go ahead.
I was gonna say, as long as I get to play the mission where I get to kill Gary Busey, I'm happy.
That's the thing I'm not sure on is if they're going to do that stuff as well, because that was all timed things.
The timed assassin missions, which I missed out on that.
But they
it did say there's select missions though, so I think they picked and chose what ones to include.
Because when they rolled it into the physical release, when you bought all the season content at once, and you didn't like have the ability to play all the stuff that wasn't out, by the time the physical one came out. What they did is unlocked all of it so that you could play it but only once.
Right.
So like you could play the Gary Busey once and then never again, because it was meant to be something that you played months ago or a year ago or whatever. And then they're like, well, we're at least going to give you the opportunity to play it, but you still have to treat it like a timed exclusive, where it's like you had your window.
You see, I think
that's silly, but
I've never had that opportunity to play that mission.
Well, now you do.
I hope so,
Kind
because
of.
I like Gary Busey.
Do
it
you?
would be great to kill him. No, kidding.
Do you like him, or do you think he's just like really weird?
He's a weird guy.
I don't know. I watched a video where he talked about like banging a tube on a river. That guy's weird, man.
It's very weird. Yeah.
Crack cocaine. It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Well, speaking of drugs, you guys remember, I don't know if you saw it, so maybe you don't remember it, but so a long time ago there was this like Diablo Nightlight on a Switch, and they posted it on Twitter, and they were turning it on and off, like on a light switch. And they're like, no, that's not us talking about Diablo on Switch. You're crazy. You're stupid. Everyone's dumb. And then they announced it for the Switch. So it's, hey, guys, Diablo 3 is going to be on the Switch soon. And it's going to have all the content. The only bummer is it's $60. And it's going to have Ganondorf armor.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
Ooh.
Ganondorf, he looks really cool as a barbarian. I saw some of the screenshots. He looks super neat, and they have Majora's Mask styled wings that you can have. That
I guess there
looks
was
super
a Link tunic and stuff too that was going to be in the game, but they cut it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird.
So, it looks cool though. That should be neat.
I thought it was cool because apparently you can play it with single Joy-Con, which, I mean, I guess that makes sense. They would just have to change maybe how you do the dodge roll, or maybe don't give it to you or something. But
yeah.
So that means you could have 2-player out of the gate on a Switch, and then you can do up to 4-player co-op, obviously, with all different types of control schemes. But what I've heard is that single Joy-Con thing isn't terrible. Like it works pretty well. So we'll see.
That's good. Yeah, as long they do it right.
Right.
It
could be bad. I mean, I don't know many people who are going to be clamoring for playing that thing on one Joy-Con, but just in case it doesn't bother you. Like, I'm a guy who plays Smash Brothers with the Wii Remote twisted on the side.
Yeah.
Like, not preferably, but I can, and I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
But
no, that should be really cool. I would be, I don't have a Switch yet, but if I were to get that, I would be most excited about being able to have a pet chicken. I saw that and I was like, yes.
Just so long as the pet chickens, if they get attacked or something, then 1,000 more chickens come and fight hordes of zombies for you.
It would only be accurate enough for that.
Eric, I'm going to throw this next one to you because this is the Until Dawn creators announcing their horror anthology series, The Dark Pictures.
Fist bump, Eric.
Oh, I should have said.
Oh, it's there! It exploded. That's the thunder right there.
There was a doubt on my end, unfortunately.
Oh, come on.
But no.
So Dark Pictures. Tell me about this.
Well, Man of Medivh is going to be their first title.
Okay.
or Medine. I can't pronounce that word.
I never know if it's Maiden or Medine or
Medane?
yeah.
It's Madden. John Madden's scary game here.
But
But
Just
are
gotta
they
get their
basing it
football.
off of like that conspiracy ship that sank and the crew disappeared? Is that
are you talking about the Mary Celeste? No, that's an
no.
older ship. That's,
No.
That's. I think they're going with a modern ship, but it's the Mary Celeste type ship.
Okay.
Where, these back in the 1700s, there was a ship at sea that these people came across that was completely abandoned.
yeah.
And-
I know the story. I didn't
just-
know if they were basing it off of that same ship or if it was just like, oh hey,
Well,
here's this ship.
Hey.
it's kind of that premise. So they're investigating
Oh,
this
yeah.
mystery ship. And
They set it up like everything else, you know. Like you get the group together and like, oh, we're out on the boat.
yeah,
and
and after
Horror
that is,
ensues.
yes, and after my friend was trying to get me to get a PS4 by making me play Until Dawn because he knew I wanted to play it.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I nearly beat it.
So is this is multi-platform though, right? This isn't like an exclusive thing.
This is actually going to be, yes, on Steam, Xbox One, thank God, and PS4.
It's all Eric's got, all right? Leave him alone.
I have a Switch.
That's true. So this is like a series. Are they all connecting? Is that the plan?
I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Because I mean, they kind of announced it like together, but just the first game this time around. Like it's
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like they're all going to link together somehow.
Okay.
You know, kind of
Like different
that,
casts, but like some sort of
Yeah.
intermingling story.
sort of like
maybe.
that movie Crash, where like you got the 7 different stories, and then everybody like kind of ends up linking
Or
one
Trick
to
or
another.
Treat is kind of like
Yeah,
that way,
Trick
too.
or Treat. Yep.
I don't know either of those movies, but can I say like Reservoir Dogs? Is that I haven't seen that in so long.
Kind of.
No, that's just that's different perspectives. That's different.
Yeah, but it might be. I don't know. They don't really tease a whole lot about like the anthology as a whole, but they kind of focus more on the ship, the
And
first game.
I like that the guy that was the
Oh boy.
the guy that was the
Still okay.
main character in Quantum Break is the main character in this one. It looks like.
Okay. Let's go. Oh, so like. Oh wait, you mean the actor?
Yes. the
Okay.
actor.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's cool. Excited for it. Are you excited for DayZ?
Eh.
I am so excited.
I'm sorry. I am so over the zombie thing. Like
I feel like it's way too late for this thing.
It is.
Like,
it
where have
really
you been?
is. Like I enjoyed the zombie survival horror thing. You know, I'm gonna say it. I liked it before it was cool.
You hipster.
I know. I'm gonna get so much hate.
Would you burn
for
your
that,
mouth when you ate
but
that pizza?
So hard. Oh gosh. So yeah, like I'm so over it.
And
Like,
it's so weird because like
it's too
you think about
late.
H1Z1, and they were similar to DayZ, I think, in their like surviving thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But their battle royale mode is not the only thing they're going to support. That's a story I think I threw in here that they're just they're not supporting their survival mode anymore. Their main mode.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like DayZ is of an era where before it was a battle royale game and it was just interacting with other people online, and it sounded incredible. Like the idea of like I could walk up to this person, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Right,
This is another
yeah.
real human.
It
and
was
things
a
are cool.
really cool idea, and
Yeah.
I was like, "That's super neat. I'm gonna be super into that game. That's
But
gonna be great."
I just don't know if there's a place for that right now, or how it's going to pay off, or if they just go, "Oh, we made it a battle royale. It's all good."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Torn.
yeah, we'll say that. I'm torn. I don't know how else to feel about it. Really, like it
I'm
feels like
curious.
it's too little, too late.
Yeah, I feel like it's been way too late. We've been talking about this thing for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who cares about this anymore?
And
Hopefully
kinda-
someone, because I'm interested to see what it is, but
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
if they really wanted to make the money off of it, you know, because everybody's looking for profit, they
Yeah.
kind of missed their window of time when the zombie trend was in, and it's
no,
kind of
bringing
dying
it back,
out.
bringing back the zombies. State of Decay 2 didn't do it, so DayZ's got to step in.
I love State of Decay 2.
I know, it's not a bad game. I'm just goofing. I couldn't get into it, but I appreciate what it is. How about Devil May Cry then, Eric? Let's talk about something we're excited about.
Yes.
Oh, this one looks really good.
Yeah.
You see, when I saw it was Nero.
You were like, yes, Nero the best.
I know.
Dante's cool, but Nero.
I love
You see,
Nero.
Devil May Cry 4, I felt like Nero was this...
Do not say whiny.
Don't
lovesick.
even.
Look, you can say, wait, lovesick?
Well, he was going after his girl, trying to save his girlfriend.
Wouldn't you go after your girlfriend if a bunch of demons took her? And then, like, get a bunch of rock and roll to play while you murdered them?
Wow.
I'm going to get
Wow,
Power Man
Eric.
5000 over here to play a soundtrack next to me while I murder this thing. So, okay, like, legitimately, though, I always feel like people talk about how whiny and complaining or whatever Nero was, but I never understood that. Like,
Have you played the game?
Well, like
I played it twice,
wait.
I think.
Which one are we talking about now? Are we talking about DMC or 4?
4.
Okay. I don't think he was whiny at all in 4.
Yeah, I
Compared
thought the
to
whole
DMC,
time he was just like
I did
yelling
not
and
wanna
screaming
touch
at
it.
people.
Yeah.
I didn't think the guy in DMC was whiny either. He was just like, he was just cokehead.
I
You
wasn't.
look like Michael
a
Chick.
huge
I like that
fan,
one. Yeah, yeah. Let's
but-
hope he doesn't listen. Maybe, or I don't know. Whatever.
Oh.
No,
So
he
tell me
takes,
why you don't
he
like
takes,
Nero.
he likes the fact that he looks like the guy from DMC. Michael Chick enjoys the fact.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh,
But
probably.
tell me, no, I want to know, like, legitimately, because you're in the camp that thinks Nero is kind of lame, right?
Well, with this new trailer, it seems that he's matured a little bit.
No,
and-
let's skip Devil May Cry 5. We need to get to the heart of this issue here,
Yeah.
Eric. I need to know. Legitimately curious, because I'm in the minority thinking he's not a whiny person.
So
Why do you feel that he is?
let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me answer
The
your
group.
question with asking a question.
The group.
The question. Is Anakin Skywalker whiny?
That does not seem like an equivalency
No.
here. I would
That
say Anakin
doesn't seem like
Skywalker's
a
just lame unless
fair
you watch the Clone Wars cartoon.
comparison.
Clone Wars cartoon, Anakin Skywalker is like awesome.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's really like.
I would say that's a very.
I think you're trying to
Look
like.
at this guy
I don't
over here.
know.
He's trolling.
I am not trolling on this.
All right, here's the thing. If you're listening to the show and you want to let me know why you think Nero sucks, you tell me. I'm genuinely
Yeah.
curious because I played through that game
I am
and never
too.
thought that. I don't know. I just thought
love
that, like,
4.
maybe it's because Dante is always just like a smart ass, very confident man, and Nero was very scrappy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where Dante is the primary character, and
I know.
he had to take the back seat for
Dante's
this
my man.
Anakin Skywalker.
So how do you
What?
feel then about Devil May Cry 5?
I feel like I said, I think Nero's matured a bit, and so this will be a little bit more interesting playthrough.
Have you watched the gameplay?
Yes.
Okay. So I see the big thing is his prosthetic arm. I forgot that he lost his arm,
Yeah.
his devil arm.
Well, it's in the trailer. They
Well, didn't he lose it in 4?
no.
No? Oh,
I don't believe so. If I remember right, no, I didn't.
I thought he did. I don't know.
No, I think you see it in the trailer where he lost his arm. It gets ripped off or chopped off or something.
Okay.
So
And then he just... the only thing I think is weird is that these prosthetic arms are... they have ammo. Like they have like they break after a certain time, so you're going to be constantly grabbing them. So I'm curious if that's going to be annoying or not. Because I look at Sekiro
Yeah.
or Sekiro, and I just think, oh, cool, your prosthetic arms are just another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more of a mechanic or an upgrade or something where in this one it's like, oh, you might be grabbing like 10 different arms in a fight. I have no idea how fast that ammo's going to go.
yeah, but no, I'm excited for it. I mean, we haven't had a Devil May Cry since that was like the beginning of the Xbox 360, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you
Well,
guys didn't
not
like
counting DMC.
I was
what's the
not a
feeling
fan
on
of DMC. I tried it out when I was able to get some kind of little beta play, which probably wasn't like a good rendering of the game, like giving it any sort of chance, but I couldn't.
It's a different game.
It
Like,
is.
Absolutely.
It's
the
t-
combat's different. It's like
I
familiar.
wasn't prepared, I guess, for how different it was because
because it's like holding down a trigger to do a different style of thing.
Yeah,
So it took some getting used to.
Yeah, and I don't know. Wasn't really into the characters. I thought it was a really cool concept, but I don't think that, I don't know.
I thought it was
Personal
a neat reimagining of that like universe, I guess. But at the same time, he is kind of like a real scrawny emo guy who loves sex and drugs.
Yeah, like I feel
right
like
in the
there
beginning
was
of the game.
so much like focus on that. I'm like,
oh yeah, TV's the worst.
There's so much more that you could put into this game than that.
Yeah.
It's like they knew Michael Chick.
Oh boy. Well, hey, another positive note. Unless you got some more, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, Michael Chick loves that game because if he said it to me once, it feels like it was based off him.
I think the gameplay looks super smooth in 5 too, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. I've heard it's similar to what you know from Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
I keep wanting to say DMC, but I can't because now it means something else. But
I know, right?
But I've heard it's similar, so like don't expect anything too fresh or new or whatever. But like that's a good thing because that's what we want.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so positive news: PUBG. I guess DMC is positive news too, but PUBG getting a 1.0 release September 4th, which means we'll finally get the 4x4 map, and hopefully can be a little better. I like that game, but it needs some refinement.
And aren't we supposed to get the other map too?
Yeah, that's the 4x4 map. It's the third map. It's smaller, so I think they're 8x8 right now.
And isn't that going to include 100 versus 100 or 50 versus 50?
I don't know if that mode is consistent
mode,
but I think that should be the update.
And I think that would be sweet.
I'm the odd woman out because, of course, I don't have anything Microsoft. So
you got a PC though, right? Or not anymore?
Well, yeah, I've got my laptop, but I mean, I don't understand PUBG.
It's fine.
I'll be honest.
Let me tell you, it's 100
it.
people jump from a plane, right? Never heard of this before. It's a new concept. I'm done. But speaking of battle royales, though, are you guys excited? I mean, probably not you because you said you don't do the PUBGs or anything.
Sony girl.
Yeah, you've got H1Z1, I guess, on there, which was terrible, I guess. But Eric, you're probably excited to see the blackout mode for Call of Duty. Their take on battle royale.
I'm interested to see how that's gonna go. To be honest, like
Eric's stunned over here. No, I am too. Because between Call of Duty and Battlefield, I'm excited to see like a third, like a AAA developer make a big game. I mean, I know Epic is a main developer too, but the shooting in that doesn't feel great and whatever. But it's like, okay, I want to see Battlefield do this real bad. I think that's gonna be sweet.
And I've always been more of a Battlefield than Call of Duty.
Oh yes,
gamer, and even like I checked out Medal of Honor and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I thought you're talking about like the remake of Medal of Honor, like when they went modern. I thought that first one was pretty decent.
Yeah.
And I thought the campaign of the second one was great. That was cool.
Yeah, it was
multiplayer
really
wasn't
enjoyable.
as good in the second one, but
I'm not really a multiplayer person either because like I always feel like I get in way too late
right.
and
everyone's way too good.
Oh yeah, definitely. So here I am getting shot the moment I respawn, and it's just like mother.
and in the first game, I mean, DICE did the multiplayer, and if it had more maps, I would have played it even more because I thought their take on Rush mode, whatever, I can't remember the mission mode, I think is what they call it. Their take on Rush, I liked more than Rush, and that's what I played all the time on Bad Company 2, because it was more. It wasn't just go get the 2 stations, then go get the 2 stations. It was like an objective, and they've kind of taken some of that stuff with what is that mode in Operations in the newer Battlefields. But it's like, oh hey, now you're playing. You got to do this as conquest, or you do have to blow up the station. But in Medal of Honor, it was like, you have to hold this point. You have to blow up this thing. And I was like, this is cool. I like that.
Wolfenstein, I believe, Return to Castle Wolfenstein did that as well.
That's cool.
Where you would have to blow up a door for the other soldiers to get through. And then you would have to go and try and do this other objective, then steal the notes, and then escape. And that was one of the multiplayer. That was pretty much the multiplayer.
Well, good deal. I didn't know that even had multiplayer, so I'm terrible.
I had no idea either.
So, Eric, I know I teased you because Bloodstained is never coming out, but apparently so is what am I trying to say here? Shenmue's never coming out, apparently. Yeah. Because it got delayed to 2019, August. We're another year away from that game now. So I guess we have the 1 and 2 to hold us over, but
Well, they never released a release date before.
I thought they.
No, they
No?
never. No, not E3 or anything. They finally gave us a release date, from what I understand.
Oh, I thought they
Oh.
had one for like end of this year.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought they gave us like a season, like coming.
Coming this winter.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
not-
don't
at
know
least
how
not
I
at this
feel about
E3.
Shenmue 3.
No, they didn't show us anything at E3.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Sony had. E3 was weird. Just put it that way. Well, that's all I had for the show.
I actually have something.
No, you don't, Eric. What do you
Oh,
want?
fine.
I'm just kidding. What do you got?
Actually, for all those Evil Dead fans out there that are disappointed that Season 3 is the last season of the show of Ash vs. Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell has officially announced that he is doing a voiceover for a video game for Evil Dead.
Oh, I saw
that's
that.
right.
That's going to
Forgot
be
about that.
awesome.
So
Who's making that one?
it's in the dark. It's basically it's one of those Bloody Disgusting. I think it's their online site. Kind of caught on to it, and they went to Bruce and be like, "Hey, so you're working on this game?" And he's like, "You caught me." So yeah, I am. And so hopefully, a lot of people I've talked to are speculating that hopefully it takes place after the show, because the show, while it ends, also ends kind of up in the air.
Okay. All right. I need to go back and watch that, which I'll do someday.
Same.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for stopping by, Eric the engineer.
Nothing
One of
went
these days we'll
wrong.
actually have you engineer something.
I kept us alive while there was electrical storm. So
Oh, there you go. You engineered the lightning. You were the lightning in that rain. Sorry, that was a rough snake. I'm sorry. That wasn't very good. And thanks for coming back.
Absolutely. Thanks
You've
for having
graduated
me.
from 20 eggs to the next level. Look at that. It works.
Yeah.
It works on that wording. Oh, boy.
I've gone to the next level.
Well, feel free to come back whenever you want. I've got
Yeah, I'd
4
love to.
microphones.
It's awesome.
I know that life gets in the way because that's why we do it at my house. I put my kids away. Put them away. Gosh, that sounds terrible. Put them to bed. Let them not kill them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stop. My wife's gonna get mad at me. I joked about slapping my child through
I was
a
going
window
to say,
once.
what is it with you and
Beating up
the
my
family
Look,
abuse?
I love my kids. I love my kids. It's real. All right.
Oh, but someday.
My daughter came down here to give me a high five, a hug, and a kiss. So obviously, I'm not that bad of a dad. All right. Whatever.
Some days, though, you gotta put them in another room and go collect yourself.
Oh yeah, there's days where we just kind of okay, fine, you can watch Masha Bear.
I
go in
hate
my room.
that show.
She's a naughty girl.
She's terrible. She's terrible to that bear. She's awful. I saw 2 episodes.
Sometimes she's very
of that.
compassionate to that bear, though. And,
Only
makes his
after
day.
she was like a total a-hole.
Did you see that episode? You see that episode where it was like Bear's birthday or something, and then she
Yeah.
was like, "Only 365 days my birthday."
Yeah, it was all about her. And after I watched a couple episodes and I saw what was going on, I was like, nope. And she keeps trying to go back to it, and I'm like, no, we're not watching that show.
That's the one my daughter wants to watch all the time. But if I turned on Paw Patrol or something, they'd forget.
Yeah,
So I'm good with that.
what about DuckTales?
I can.
My
always
son likes
turn-
that new DuckTales, which I
that
think is really
new
good.
DuckTales is awesome.
It is.
And just hearing David Tennant's voice makes me melt. So
That's true. He's a good
I
guy.
mean, you
He's a
can't.
good boy.
Yeah.
I've never watched Doctor Who, but I like him in everything else I've seen him in. So
Yeah.
that works.
I mean, he's just stud muffin all the way. So.
Stud muffin all the way. And that's going to do it for today's show. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And before I say anything else, just in case you aren't following us on the Facebook or the Twitter or anything like that, just remember that Mark and Brandon are currently at the GameStop Expo, and they will get a chance to play a bunch of games early. It could be games like, Spider-Man, Tomb Raider, all that kind of stuff's going to be there. But, think that Smash Brothers will be there. Metro might be there. Sekiro will be there. Some bigger titles are usually
Mortal
there.
Kombat
Things
11?
Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't exist, Eric. Stop. But if Ed Boon's always there, so you never know. Yeah, so if there's anything that you're curious about, maybe you want to say like, oh, someone go play Spider-Man for me because I'm curious. Or someone go check out, I don't know, what's coming out? Smash Brothers. I want to know if it's a stupid remake or something. Let us know. Send us an email at thenextlevelvg@gmail.com or reach out to us elsewhere. And I'll have them report back. I'll do it. I'll make them. All right, and that's going to do it for real. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next level.
See ya.